Hi, I'm Quavion Durham, and this is my beautiful wife Caitlin and our son Jaden. I wanted to share my story to encourage those who are giving to organizations like the YMCA. My story began when my mom, at age 16, got pregnant and had twin boys. Growing up, my mother didn't have any financial help or any family support whatsoever. And so you can imagine that can be a bit of a struggle. Throughout my childhood, um, we relied heavy on organizations like the YMCA himself. So even though mom was addicted to drugs, even though mom wasn't necessarily always in the stable mind to take care of us, we had organizations like the YMCA to provide things that we would need for school, like homeless shelters as well. You know, being able to have a place to stay at night, or actually being able to have a meal at night. Being so involved with these different organizations because they truly impacted my life. They've actually helped me get through childhood. I can honestly say, without the church and without organizations like the YMCA, I could not be where I am today. You know, growing up through grade school, you know, being a kid all the way through, I could say almost middle school, the YMCA provided things for me, like school supplies and backpacks. And I can honestly say, you know, if you don't go to school with the materials that you need and you're not prepared, then it's kind of hard to do school. So YMCA provided those things for me. Also, growing up, I didn't live in the best neighborhood. The YMCA has a amazing after-school program that provides a safe place for kids who live in poverty, and that they can go there and they can have mentors and they can have, you know, good positive role models um, to get them out of their current environment and bring them to the YMCA, and where we can, you know, we can play sports, and we can do things that we couldn't do necessarily safely in our own neighborhoods. And things like that just impacted me so much. I used to love when the YMCA also used to come to our schools. They used to come to our schools and, you know, and have, you know, events that they would do for kids who were in poverty, and or for, you know, all kids. And it blessed me tremendously. Growing up in an environment where mom was not always in a stable mind, or our mother was not always in a stable mind to take care of us boys, you know, we would often miss school. I remember vividly in first grade, we missed 58 school days out of the school year. And from that time on, child protective services became a part of our lives. I just always remembered just, you know, constantly just bouncing from house to house, and just not knowing where we're going to be at, and, you know, just these random people's houses, and not going to school. And when we did go to school, it was just like, you know, we had to go to school with dirty clothes, and, you know, and getting made fun of, and, you know, and just having to just endure that, because there's nothing that we can change about it. We were kids. And then just, you know, and from that time on, just always running from child protective service, always running. You know, mom would, you know, hide us boys when they would come around. And it was just this life of, you know, just always feeling like you're on a run, feel like you're doing something wrong. And just, you know, remember feeling that, you know, neglect. And so um, when I was 9 years old, I got my first lawnmower. And I just remember going out and knocking on random people's doors and just asking, can I cut their grass? And I didn't know what I was doing, but, you know, it was just a way for me to provide for my brothers, you know, and to have a meal at night, and to be able to, as a big brother, take care of my brothers. And so with that, you know, I built a work ethic. I'm thankful for that. But I just, you know, and then as life progressed, as we were starting to get a little older and studied just, you know, CPS in and out of our lives, um, I just remember mom sitting us boys down, and she sent my two younger brothers to Kentucky. And from that time on, they were out of my life for 8 years. I didn't see my brothers, didn't talk to my brothers for 8 years, and she kept my twin brother and I. And I just remember CPS finally caught up with us, and my mom ended up going to prison for 2 years for neglect charges that she got. And we went to a foster home in Evansville, and we were later adopted by my aunt and uncle. And through that, going through middle school and things, all this transition in life, um, it was hard. It was hard to adapt. We were having behavior issues in school because it was just um, a lot to take on, a lot of change, a lot of uncertainty. Didn't know if our aunt and uncle really wanted us. Just we're just so used to just not being in a stable home, and so we lived in fear. And so we got adopted when I was in 6th grade, but in 7th grade, my life changed forever. I can truly say my life in 7th grade, my life changed forever, even through all the certainty, even through all of the pain. I just remember going through this neighborhood, and I knocked on a stranger's door, and her name is Jennifer Harrison. Jennifer Harrison, I asked her, can I cut her grass? And she said, no, you cannot cut my grass. My husband cuts my grass. And I was like, okay. And so I just happened to stay out there, stay in the yard, playing with her kids. And her husband got home from work, and his name is Mike. And I went to Mike and I said, hey man, can I cut your grass? And he said, no, I do it for exercise. And I was like, okay. And so I just happened to stay in the yard and playing with the kids. And Jennifer Harrison, who attended Crossroad Christian Church in Newburgh, Indiana, came to the door and said, Quavion, you cannot cut my grass, but you can come to church with me. And that simple invite, I took the invite, and that simple invite truly changed my life. I walked into Crossroads Christian Church as a stranger, didn't know anybody within this church. And I walked into this church building, and it's the first time I can honestly say I've experienced real love in my life. There's just so many mothers and so many men who were godly men who just wrapped their arms around me and just embraced me for who I am, this broken, lost kid. And I felt that love, and I never wanted to let go of it. I always just was drawn to that. And a few examples, Ken Idleman. Ken Idleman was a huge inspiration to my life. Danny Stevenson, who is still part of Crossroads Christian Church today, huge part of my life. I would, to escape home life, I would do things I had no business doing in the church as a 7th grader. I would be doing accounting. Like what 7th grader does accounting? Like it doesn't even make sense. Or I'll be there, on Wednesday nights, doing light company and, or help leading the youth as I was progressing, and learning more about God and who I am. And it just truly blessed my life. That simple invite led me to my calling of ministry and on my life, and that's how I landed at Ozark Christian College, because of men like Ken Idleman and Cy Huffer and Danny Stevenson, who were all a part of Ozark Christian College. I had no clue what Ozark Christian College was, but I knew because I trusted them, I believed in them and who they are. I said I'm up for it. I'm up to try this out. And Crossroads Christian Church will always leave a huge imprint on my life. I was able to get things to go to school, to go to college. They were able to pay some of my tuition. They were able to buy me a laptop. They were able to encourage me and pray for me as I am leaving Evansville, where I was comfortable. I mean, I grew up there, and going 8 hours away to a town in Joplin, Missouri that I've never ever been to. I can say that truly was huge for me, and And then also people like Rogers Greenwald, who were on the YMCA board, who to me, who means a lot to me. Rogers is a person that um, I honestly view him as like a dad to me. I mean, he may not know that, but that's truly how I feel like he is to me. He stepped in as, I was a, you know, I don't know, it was either seventh or eighth or ninth grade. Just remember meeting Rogers, and I know how much he means to the Y and how much he pours into the Y, and also, but he's also a member of Crossroads Christian Church, and he's just one of those people that is making a huge impact still today for the community of Evansville. And so I can't thank those people enough. I mean, they are still a part of my life today, and there's so many other people that I can't even name. I mean, there's I could name, but it would take us a very long time to because it truly took a village to get me where I am. I never knew without organizations like the Y and my church that I could even be in the situation that I am today. That I could break the generational sin that my family is currently stuck in still today. I can't say that it was an easy journey, but it was a journey that was worth the while. I've made it, Caitlin and I have made it a mission statement that we would never ever allow Jaden to have the life that I ever had. I don't ever want him to experience anything that I have ever had to endure, because God has called me out of that, and He wants better for my life, and He wants better for our child's life, and so with that being said, I want you guys to look at your gifts and your prayer for organizations like the Y as an investment. And it's an investment that pays dividends for no telling who it is. I mean, you guys are touching more lives than you think you are. And on behalf of all those kids' lives that you're touching, I want to say thank you. I was once one of those kids, and I just want to say God bless you guys and your efforts, and we love what you're doing. And also to the ones who may be on edge, or who may feel, I can't give right now. I'm not financially stable to do that, or I'm not where I want to be financially. But I want to let you know, whatever you can do, it doesn't have to be the significant amount. Every dollar, every amount counts. And when you give, you may not know the name of that kid or that family, but you truly have impacted. You've impacted the world. It's your community. You've impacted your community more than you've ever known. We hope this video encouraged you guys, and we just want to say God bless. Love the Durham family.